In the June episode, I'm joined by soon-to-be Realty TV megastar Ashleigh Tuhkala, correct?
Reality TV.
What did I say? Growing up a self-professed horse girl on the Sunshine Coast, Ashleigh Tuhkala operates Goldmine quarter horses in Gibsons, BC. She's also a realtor with Remax City Realty in Gibsons, and most recently she stars in CTV's hit new reality show, Farming for Love. Ashleigh, thanks very much for fitting us into your busy schedule.
Thanks for having me here, Tony.
For people that haven't heard of Farming for Love, can you explain what the premise of the show is?
Farming for Love is based off of Farmer Wants a Wife over in Australia and the UK, and it's a really popular show, but it's not just popular, it's successful in how many matches that actually result from the show.
Also, like relationships continue afterwards.
Marriages, and kids.
Oh, wow.
Something like 190 marriages has come from this franchise, and like 400 kids. It's crazy. So Farming for Love is the first time it's in Canada English speaking.
Oh, okay. Well, they've done it like French?
Quebec
okay.
has a version, yeah.
It's called Le Farming for...
Something. It's like
Something
Love in
like
the
that.
Meadow, but in French. What happens on the show is they have 5 farmers. I'm one of the farmers. And for Farming for Love, we're all located in BC, but the daters are from anywhere across Canada. And they match us with daters, and they come to our farm, and we just kind of live life on the farm, see if they can hack it, and, you know, the daily stuff that happens. And we go on fun dates and then see if there's a match.
So to use some farming vernacular, how'd you get roped into doing this?
So our friend Rachel Dempster saw the casting call and sent it my way, and kind of pushed me to doing it a little bit because I was like, I don't know, I'm pretty happy single, and she's like, no, you never know, just apply. So I did, and they were like, yeah, that sounds great, and I loved the premise of it, like, and that I would be a farmer and I'd be in that seat versus the dater seat, which is cool, and that it'd be on the farm and.
That's it. So your history on the farm, did you grow up on a farm or a ranch, or how did you get into being, a farmer?
When I was a kid, I had a horse. I lived in Roberts Creek and I had a horse in my backyard. Then we could just ride anywhere through the trails and down the road, and it was pretty cool that way. And as I got older, I got into competition, and then the opportunity came up where I could just run and manage a barn.
What surprised you about being on the show Farming for Love?
I didn't expect how easy it would feel. I was worried a little bit about like being maybe in front of cameras, but I think through the whole thing, like I stuck to myself. Everything was just easy.
Did they shoot right on your ranch, or did you have to go somewhere else to shoot, or where was where did most of the scenes take place?
Most of the filming was done on the farm. We had a couple events where we'd all get together, but you'll see on like the first episode when in the trailer even where we're all as a group.
Without getting into any spoilers, was being on Farming for Love a good experience for you? Did you enjoy it? Was it fun?
Yeah, it was super fun. I enjoyed it quite a bit. That's the most dating I've ever done. Like
in a short period of time.
In like even a long period of time. That's like the most dating. So it was just a learning experience that way. But I feel really good. Like I feel better coming out of it.
And do you feel like you were kind of like a good ambassador for the Sunshine Coast? Is it like, did you enjoy showing off the coast?
Yeah, you'll definitely see the Sunshine Coast quite a bit. I haven't seen it yet, but the coast I feel will get showcased
right on
very nicely. So it was cool to show off the hometown.
I've been watching, just knowing that you were coming on, and it's been a while kind of thing where I've been looking forward to having you on. I've kind of been on your socials and watching stuff, and recently I saw there's some of your barn kids, you call them, have come back and they've grown up and they're back to visit. So how long have you been kind of teaching kids how to ride?
I've been teaching kids for the last 19 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I started
what age normally do they start at?
5.
Okay.
Sometimes I get like the little tiny tots. But then it's cool, like a lot of the kids like 15 years ago, they come back and they've got kids. But like I feel like I'm still the same age that they were, but like they're grown up and have children, but I still feel younger than them.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, that's funny. Why don't you tell us more about how if someone wanted to get their kids into Western riding or working with quarter horses, how would they do that?
So we've got a few different programs. We've got like kids camps and startup lessons for like toddlers and kids upwards, and then regular lessons, and then we just kind of start them where they're having fun and building confidence, and then go from there with whatever goals they want to set.
So it's kind of the same sort of principle as, I guess, getting people involved in other types of sport, whether it's track or like team sport or even, other sort of like martial arts structured events, that kind of thing. So it kind of keeps kids kind of working with and learning good principles and good work ethic and that kind of stuff.
Totally, yeah. And like learning like their own body strength and confidence. And
do they ever get into competitions and stuff? Any of the kids you work with? Like, do they ever, I guess if they get right into it?
Yeah, like right now there's limited opportunities on the coast for events, so we're looking at hosting more barrel races at the barn and stuff to get.
Do people ever sponsor that stuff for you? Or?
I think down the road we'll have sponsorship opportunities and stuff like that for when we host events, and we can like announce it and have banners up on the walls and stuff.
Sweet. And do you have a website or anything set up for that type of stuff? Or?
Yeah, so to learn more about the horse stuff, the Equestrian Center, it's goldmineqh.com.
Okay, and I'm sure we'll put a link to that in the description.
Thank you.
Yeah, so that's awesome. You're also a realtor on the Sunshine Coast here. Did you take some time off when you were filming Farming for Love, and now you're getting back into it, or how did that work?
Yeah, I definitely had to take time off. I was going to try and maybe like juggle the two, but I couldn't commit to meeting anybody or...
Unless you were dating them.
Not
and
meeting,
that'd be unprofessional.
That would be very unprofessional. I'm sure like across the board.
Realty for Love.
Spin-off series. I definitely had to take time off real estate and just getting back into it now.
Farming for Love sees 5 Canadians searching for their soulmates by opening up their farms and their hearts to a select group of urban singles. Watch Ashleigh's search for Mr. Right in Farming for Love Sunday nights at 7 p.m. on CTV. And if you're looking for a buyer's agent or someone to list your home with on BC's beautiful Sunshine Coast, I have worked with Ashleigh both pre and post her stardom, and she's been excellent with every client I've ever recommended her to, and I'd say you'd be in very good hands if you chose to work with her. So thanks very much for coming on the podcast, and best of luck with all your future endeavours.
Thank you so much for having me, Tony.
Tony, how would you describe the current real estate market on the Sunshine Coast?
In a word, I'd say uneven. There's some motivated sellers out there, and then there's also quite a few people that are testing the market, looking at their tax assessments from last year, thinking that they still apply. Some of them are even listing, well above those tax assessments when they shouldn't necessarily be doing that. So there's a lot of inventory out there. And it's unevenly priced. There's some, motivated sellers which are priced appropriately. I think, as the market continues into summer and people start needing to sell, you're going to see an adjustment, to reflect the amount of inventory that's on the market.
If we compare the stats from last year to this year, so January to the end of April, sales have dropped by nearly half, and prices have fallen by about 15%. The rate of inflation, it's slowing, but it's still increasing. What should sellers take from these numbers?
What I'm basically seeing is that people that are selling homes and having an end user or a buyer in mind and pricing it appropriately for that and marketing the home appropriately for that are going to have success. Those that think there's still buyers heading this way that nary a care in the world about price and they're just going to buy anything because they love Gibsons and they can live here now, that those days seem to be over. That being said, we are tracking to have a rally in the next little bit, being that we are typically 6 to 8 weeks behind what happens in Vancouver. That market's really kicking off now. Normally, we don't experience a back-to-back Mother's Day, May 2-4 weekend. There's a gap in between that. And so you do start to see buyers, in that in-between weekend. So I think there is some pent-up buyers right now. And I think that homes that are priced appropriately will start getting action, and we should be busy really for the next 6 weeks or so.
Tony, what listings do you have online for June?
Oh, crikey, what don't I have this month, mate? I want to start out, there's this gorgeous, fully renovated, beautiful house down on Jensen Road in Langdale. It's absolutely lovely. She's done a great job renovating it. She's got sick of the rain and she's moving somewhere more sunny, taking her mum with her. So it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath main house. It's got a big suite downstairs where mum used to live, but that's going to be vacant too. So that's down in Langdale, where there's endless trails to walk your dog and ride your bike, and close to a couple of beach accesses. You've got the Langdale RV pitching putt right there, which which is a great little golf course. So lots of good things to be said about the lifestyle in Langdale, and this home is an absolute steal, listed at $985,000, and I'm not doing it justice. So definitely check that one out. The video tour turned out really good with that one. Up on the bluff, we've got a beautiful log home that's up on Shoal Lookout. Absolute, it's like being at a resort. This particular home, it was licensed for an Airbnb in the past. It's one of the most desirable little cul-de-sacs on the whole of the Sunshine Coast, so I definitely check out that one. There is a one on Malcolm Creek. It's a brand new build. Again, it's an upstairs, downstairs, big suite downstairs, just on about an acre of property there, out of the way, very private. That one's it's rented now until October, I believe, but move-ins available after that. And that one's definitely priced to sell. You couldn't buy the land and build it for that one. So he's a motivated seller right there. And the last one would be probably 496 Spyglass. You're going to love that kitchen. You're going to love those views. It's got a legal suite, which is rare. I think 98% of suites aren't legal, and it puts some people off. This one's legal. We got a letter from the town of Gibsons to prove it. Could also be used as a short-term rental. Just have to get a license for that one. Since it was last listed, we had some tree work done, open up the view, really nice landscaping, some touch-ups, that kind of thing. One of the producers on the podcast here, Val, she loves it. I think she wants to put in an offer. I'm trying to convince her to do that. So check it out, and if you like it, make sure you get in quick. Otherwise, Val might buy it out from under you.
It is a gorgeous property. It's in an excellent location. It's one of the few streets in Gibsons that have unobstructed views. All the power lines are underground.
Yeah, underground lines, yeah.
Attached two-car garage. The suite downstairs, I think when we say a suite, people maybe have an idea of what a suite looks like, but this is, it's massive downstairs.
Yeah, super high ceilings.
Super high ceilings, walkout basement, a little bit of a view even from the ground suite. It's just a gorgeous property.
Sounds like Val's got Paul convinced, so they might be putting an offer together. Fortunately, I've prepared it right here. Why don't you guys just side? And that's how you sell homes, folks. Thanks for watching, and if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. While you're here, maybe you want to check out one of my listings or watch my video about why you should choose me to sell your home.